Hello and welcome back to the Women's University Championships from Moulton College. We're heading into bench and I'm with the wonderful Abby Graham, who's been commentating all day. She's absolutely fantastic. Victoria Hammond is stepping out to lift 137.5, so let's see how she will do. Oh, she's not.
No, it's not.
Well, this is why we have Abby, you see,
because
I do not know what I'm doing.
So actually this is Megan Garfield. It's 27.5 kilo bench press here. Megan Garfield, 27.5 kilo opener.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. So,
what's not quite good, however, unfortunately, is my positioning of my centre camera. So I'm just going to go and fix that and leave Abby with the stream. Okay.
So now we've got Laura Petch opening on 35 kilos in the bench press. So this is the 63 kilogram class women. 63 kilo class women. All of this session, all of the lifters in this session are the same weight class. They're all the 63 kilo weight class. So this competition is pretty interesting compared to other competitions because there's not a qualifying total to enter this, and so you've got lifters who, in a number of cases, this is the first competition that some of these lifters have ever done, it's been impressive actually. The level of composure of the lifters, their technical understanding of what they're doing, their technique even has been consistently really impressive for lifters who, in a number of cases, have not been lifting very long. But within the same competition, as well as some lifters for whom it is their first ever competition, you also have lifters within the University Championships who are actually experienced international lifters already. There are some junior international lifters who are also competing within this same competition. So it makes for a really interesting event. You see...
sorry. Forgive me, this is George moving the microphone.
Just some little technical corrections here with the microphones.
Technical corrections is the polite word for George. George needs to sit himself down and get himself set. Big thanks to Abby, who's here commentating with me today, who's been very patient with all of the messing around. That good to me from Amelia Bassnett.
Yeah, that was Amelia Bassnett, 40 kilogram opener. So far the bench press openers are looking, well selected, pretty routine. There haven't been any scares so far, as it should be. Now, I just want to reiterate something that I was talking about earlier, which is actually just that a lot of people don't appreciate what a challenging lift the bench press actually is for women. So the effect of the hormones in our bodies is such that women have about 10% the testosterone level of men. So women do have testosterone in their bodies, and it's really important actually. Like, it's important for our health that we have testosterone, but we don't have very much of it. We've only got 10% the level of men. And testosterone in particular is good at building muscle on the upper body. So men proportionately have more muscle on the upper body compared to women. Women have, like reasonable muscle on the lower body, but they don't naturally have a lot of muscle on the upper body because of our natural hormones. And that means that the bench press is a challenging lift for women. It's a long, slow process for women to build up the bench press. It is quite common for an untrained woman to not be able to bench the empty bar. The empty bar is 20 kilos. It's not uncommon for a woman to require training before they can actually bench an empty bar. So that just puts in context what these women are lifting. It's probably taken quite significant training to get to these weights for quite a lot of these lifters. But the good news is, though, that although building the muscle in the upper body is a challenging and slow process, it's one that can be worked on continuously over the years, and it means that progression on the bench press for women is possible over long time periods. It's possible to build the bench press enormously, and you see it with particularly experienced female powerlifters, that the bench press actually starts to make up a more substantial fraction of their overall total, because over the years they start to build more muscle in the upper body compared to a newer lifter. So yeah, it's just a long slow process for the bench press, and I think a lot of people, including a lot of female lifters, they don't give themselves credit for their achievements on the bench press. They incorrectly believe that that what they're lifting is not an achievement when it is actually.
So Olivia Horncastle steps up for 45. Pushes it through. Oh, now that's gone down, unless I'm mistaken, Abby, hasn't it?
Gosh.
Now that's a bit worrying, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the first thing we've seen in the. That's the first really worrying thing we've seen all day, actually.
Yes, I think
to be
so.
honest.
Yeah, just because that.
We've seen some problematic openers, but it was normally a technical issue. That unfortunately did not look like a technical issue to me. That looked like she has opened too heavy.
A bit of a shame, wouldn't it?
That's a big worry.
How do you get it back from there?
That's a big worry. Let's hope that there's something she can alter that's going to make that happen in a second. That's Olivia Horncastle has had an unexpected drama. Naomi Fenton successfully benched 45 kilos without a problem just there. 45 kilos remains on the bar for Nur Izzati.
So out comes Nur. Big shout out to Eleiko, SBD and Spotter, our sponsors. We are Wired Up Media. I'm George, being fantastically supported all day by Abby Graham, who knows a lot more about this than me. It's becoming rapidly clear. And we're the commentary team. Big shout out to all the spotters loaders from Moulton Farm Powerlifting Club and Moulton Farm who've looked after us today and have supported us. Looks like we've got a good solid internet connection back, touch wood, so hopefully we're with you without any interruptions from here on out as Nur heads out for 45 kilos.
Yeah.
Let's see how this moves through. Through it goes.
Good.
Should be no trouble there.
Drama-free opener. You don't want drama on the opener. Leave that for the third attempt.
Yes, yeah, quite.
Yeah, we like drama on the third attempt. We don't like drama on the opener.
I mean, I don't know about you, Abby, but there's a sense with the bench press of, I suppose not the competition slowing down, but just everything moving into a slightly more calm footing.
Yeah. I think there's various reasons for that. It's the least draining of the lifts.
Yeah.
It requires less psyching up. It's more just a case of like cool and collected focus, actually. It's just, cool and collected execution. Normally it's more reliable than a squat, a bench press, and we have seen a surprise miss on the opening bench press, but you usually have a pretty good idea of what you're capable of in an opening bench press, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The other thing is that it is slow because the setup takes time. You don't just rush on and do it in a psyched up way the way you do a deadlift. And lastly, we don't actually get to see much of the face of the lifter, which I always think is a bit of a shame about how the bench press is. It's just how it is. But you kind of lose that emotional connection with the lifter. You can't see their facial expressions so much. So I think it takes away from the drama a little bit. But that's how it is.
Absolutely. If I could throw in another camera, I would. But unfortunately, I've got all three that are available to me working.
You don't usually get a camera view of. Sometimes
No.
in internationals you'll get a top view of the lifter, but you don't usually get to see their face.
It's a little bit tricky to catch the angle really from there.
It is.
Big shout out to everyone on the stream. Thanks for sticking with us, especially in that last one where we had those connection issues. Again, touch wood, looks like it's supported and we're up and running again. But do stick with us if there are any connection problems or anything like that. We'll always be coming back. Isabel Coomber gets underneath 47.5, and I don't think there's any problems there.
Nicely executed. Yeah, nicely done.
Here comes Lily, and I don't think we had any surprises in the first flight, did we? I think first flight went pretty smooth for everyone.
So this is still the A group.
Oh, sorry. I mean the squats though.
The squats.
That went fairly.
Yeah, no, I don't. Okay. No, I don't think in this group. No, I don't think so.
I think everything was all right, wasn't it? So hopefully, if just the one individual who missed can just take it the second, away we go. Let's see how Lily does. Brings it down. Okay, moved.
Yes. Yeah.
There we are. Good.
It's fine.
Lisa brings with her quite a fan club. 50 kilos on the...
Loughborough University.
highlights there, I think. Oh.
What's going on?
So I think that's a good lift. Slight snarl up with the lights, but they got there in the end.
The bar is loaded for Rebecca, 50 kilos.
So, Rebecca's opening on 50. Her bench PB is 55. So we are expecting her to get this. And with the 50 kilo opener, she should be able to reach to more than 55 for her third attempt. She could do 55 on the second if this goes well.
Looks good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was a good lift, 3 white line.
Good lift.
So I'm assuming Rebecca's going to opt for 55 on the second attempt, but we'll just see what she decides. 55 would equal her current PB.
Big shout out again to everyone on the stream. Don't forget, if you like what you see, do give us a like, chuck a subscribe in there. It makes a big difference just to the online metrics and making sure that the stream is as visible as it can be on YouTube and all the other bits and bobs. And again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us. We sure do appreciate it. Keep the chat coming as well. Let us know anything you're thinking or anything you'd like to see different. And we'll be very, very happy to oblige. Megan Garfield, 32.5 kilos.
Yeah.
She's from York. Lovely place. I grew up around there. Down it goes. That looked easy to me.
Yeah, really, really easy. Yeah.
All good. Laura Petch from Kent. So which is your strongest lift, Abby?
My deadlift is my strongest lift.
Ah, okay.
Followed by my bench press, and then followed by my squat.
Okay.
Yeah. So my best deadlift is 182.5 kilos.
Wow. Whoa, wow. Seriously.
Yeah.
Goodness me, Abby.
That was in December. I did that in competition. My best bench press is 90 kilos, and I did that in the European Masters Classic just last month. And my best squat's 140. So as you've seen today, we already have a lifter who's like only 2.5 kilos behind my best squat actually, and that's Vicky Hammond. Right. She squatted 137.5. So yeah.
Yes, it is quite crazy when you start seeing people hitting your numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here comes Emma. She's quite flat to the benches, Emma, which means the bar has a long way to travel. Oh. Okay, something went.
She's got pinned. She's got pinned there.
Yeah, she did, didn't she? I think it sort of bounced around on the chest a bit as well, didn't it?
Yeah. So she got her opener 37.5. It's fine. A 5 kilo jump at this kind of weight is a big jump actually. I mean, it's a large percentage. So it could just be that that's actually just quite heavy for her. Now 45. This is it.
So this is Olivia.
It.
So it's
we need her to get this.
Fingers crossed at home and all the goodwill in the world.
Yes.
Let's just really hope she can find a bit
of
something.
I don't know why
in this.
she didn't get this.
Down it goes.
We hope that.
Presses it up. It stays tight.
Oh my goodness!
Oh Lord!
No. Oh my word!
No lift. So I wonder. I just wonder whether.
Territory.
I mean, you don't want to sort of armchair referee or coach, but I wonder whether she's used to pausing it on the chest, or maybe she's been bouncing it off her chest in the gym, and the pause is surprising.
Yeah, that could be. She's got quite a narrow grip on it.
It just looked like when she got the extra velocity on it.
It's not necessarily going to help to widen the grip. We don't know what happened. 45 going up nicely for Amelia. For second attempt, that's good. Oh dear.
Yeah, it's never nice to see, is it? Especially not when it looks like a strength issue. But I think she had velocity there. She might just have to really go for it on the other one, and because it just looked like it definitely went higher before it got stalled. But it's almost that's why I wonder whether it's a pausing thing. But
I agree. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, this is definitely not a thing a coach would say, but she might just need to just bounce the start command and up for the best on the final. But it's so hard to know what to do in that situation, isn't it?
It is.
Straight through for Ursula.
Yeah. And the unfortunate thing is, of course, that the fight on her second attempt she missed will have also drained some more of her strength.
Yeah, of course.
So I personally try to open as light as I can possibly open, while still knowing that I can make the jumps to the largest possible third attempt that I have in mind. Yeah. So basically, I take the biggest jumps that I think I'm capable of taking.
I just don't want anything in my head, right? You know.
Yeah.
Here comes Abby Pittman.
45 kilos.
Oh, so hit the sticking point, work through it.
Yeah. It's good. It's
Good
good.
look. Hannah O'Brien, yeah, I just want a weight that's not, there's nothing in my head, right? It's just a nothing weight, you know?
For an opener, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the idea. But who knows, if it's your first time competing, you're not used to the diet suddenly, you know, you've hit this so many times in the gym, when you're fresh and you're rested and you're not water depleted. It could be cramp for all we know. Either way, let's hope she can make the correction. Hannah O'Brien. Straight through.
Yeah, it is Olivia's first competition. So Olivia Horncastle, we're worrying about Olivia because she's missed her 2 opening bench presses, which is a dispiriting situation to be in. It's her first competition. So yeah, George, you were speculating that maybe she's not actually accustomed to pausing the bench press.
Yeah, which, I mean, you know, somewhere in this room there might be an absolutely furious coach saying, of course she's accustomed to the pause, she's cramping in her tricep. You know, it's just the second time there was a velocity off her chest that seemed to help. Meanwhile, Nurse steps up for 47.5 and nails it. She's fantastic. No, the second time round, she seemed to get this velocity off her chest, and that seemed to make it work. And I just wonder whether it's the pause, you know, because that's the only thing I can see that would make you that confused about your number. But I'm very much armchair coaching at this point.
Yeah, we just hope Olivia's going to get it.
Yes,
so.
yeah, and whatever the adjustment is, let's hope she can make it and nail it this time around.
47.5 kilos for Catriona McLean. She opened on 45 and that was fine.
A bit of a sway, but it's all good.
Yeah. So with bench pressing, particularly with these kind of levels of weights, a 2.5 kilo increase is actually a substantial percentage of the total weight. So what that means is that although some of these lifters are only doing 2.5 kilos more on their second attempt than they were on their opener, that can actually still be a really safe opener. Even if 2.5 kilos more is actually quite tough. Because 2.5 kilos is actually proportionately the jump. So it's not inappropriate to be doing a 2.5 kilo increase between attempts when this is the weight on the bar, around 45, 50 kilos.
So if you just excuse me for a second, Abby, someone seems to feel my camera could be in a different position. Unfortunately, they're wrong, so I'm just going to go and correct that.
So Lily Erskine, 52.5 kilos. She opened successfully on 50. Now, something's going on with her wrist straps. There's some little technical issue with the wrist straps. I don't know what it is. You have to not have the thumb loops around your thumbs with the wrist straps. It's possible that she left the loops around her thumbs because she's not allowed to do that. But the lifters have been coming onto the platform quickly and efficiently. They haven't been wasting time. So the clock will be running down, but I don't think Lily's run out of time. She has a minute in total. I think she's okay for time. Well, that didn't seem to faze her at all. That was really good. She got it 2-1. Amy Viner, also attempting 52.5 kilos in her second attempt. She opened on 47.5 kilos. So 5 kilo increase. Yeah, that's about as big as you'd want as an increase between these attempts. It's not too excessively big, but it's still a decent step.
So I'm back, and again must thank Abby for covering in my absence. And big thanks to Abby for the whole day, to be honest, at this point. You've been doing absolutely sterling work.
I'll be back for round 2 tomorrow.
I can't wait. Yeah, so no, it's been good. That was a good lift there. It's just worth noting that we're now on 8 hours of continuous streaming. So, you know.
And I still have my voice.
Yeah,
so do you.
Well, there we go. Well, let's see where we are by the end of
really
tomorrow.
Cool. Yeah, really cool.
Lisa Jones.
Yeah. 55 kilos. This is approaching body weight now for these lifters. She's only 60.65. She's light for the 63 kilo weight class. Let's see how she gets on with 55.
So
Nicely
we've just
done.
refreshed our page and spotted some of the comments. Thanks for the update, Luca. That's
thank
super
you,
good to
Luca.
know. Sorry, we just
Yeah.
we didn't realise that. So oh goodness.
Yeah.
So that's really unfortunate with them. So what we're being told is that Olivia, who has struggled a little bit, had a really rough weight cut, a water cut by the looks of it, and that's a real shame because obviously it can bring in cramp and all sorts of things. So
well, yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then somebody needs to be pumping salt into her.
Yes,
They need salt.
Yeah,
salt, not just water. She needs salt because without salt, your muscles don't absorb the water. You don't rehydrate properly.
Yeah.
She needs salt and glucose. So yeah, somebody give Olivia salt and glucose.
Yeah.
And water.
Electrolytes all
Quickly.
the way around. Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that all they need is water to rehydrate. No.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Where it needs.
Yeah. You can't rehydrate properly without the salt, and that's even aside from the issue of cramp.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right, Matthew. It needs some Gatorade or something like that.
Yeah, and also in my experience, sometimes people will have like 1 sachet of Darlite after weigh-in. No. You want 5 sachets in a litre of water at least.
Yes,
Give her the soy sauce, correct?
Give her what she needs. Yeah. Goodness. Well, let's hope there's someone there. I don't know if she's
Planning
being.
on opening at 40, and we're not sure how the cars end up in 45. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there's all kinds of questions. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, it's her first competition. I mean, to be perfectly honest, hopefully she's still going to get a lot out of today.
Yes. This is
it doesn't really matter, to be honest. If in your first comp something like this happens, it doesn't matter. It's the
learning curve, and the important thing is that you learn what you need to learn. She did fantastic on her squats, so
yeah, absolutely.
Let's just hope she gets through. Megan Garfield works through it. Looks good.
Yeah, nicely done. Yeah.
We have 40 kilos on the bar loaders. This will be for Laura. Bar is loaded. Laura will be followed.
No, Mafia, my twin is not in town. He's back in Birmingham, I'm afraid. Kevin, presumably working on getting his squat up so he can comprehensively beat me rather than losing on the squats and winning on the deadlift. But no, Kevin's not about. But yeah, absolutely. Those of you who did spot the Insta post after the last weekend will know that I have a twin called Kevin. Meanwhile, Megan Garfield is coming up here.
So, yeah,
pushing
32.5. Second attempt.
Good lift.
Yeah. Okay, that's Laura Petch. Sorry, 37.5 that was. Yeah, sorry, we're just waiting for the scoreboard to catch up.
So, coming up, who have we got? Laura Petch, 37.5.
I'm actually a bit confused with the lifters.
Is the
I'm a bit
scoring
confused with what attempt we're on. I'm trying to see the plates from here. That looks like more than 40.
See how Megan goes. If it is Megan, whoever this is, let's see how they go. Chest down. No, just went forward, didn't it?
We have 45 kilos on the bar loaders. This is for Olivia.
Okay, so here she comes. This is Olivia. Let's hope that she's had everything she needs. Go on, Olivia! Let's just hope she can get this one down. Let's hope whatever it is, it's been resolved.
Yeah. Oh, she's still smiling. She's still smiling.
Yeah, let's hope whatever happens here, she just understands it's all part of the learning curve.
Yeah.
It's all to the good. So out it comes. Right, go on, Olivia. Go on, Olivia. Go on, Olivia. Go on. You're on.
Oh my gosh!
Yes!
Oh my gosh! Has she got it? Silence.
Yeah.
She's back in the game.
Superb. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yes.
Let's just see. There she is. Oh, and a well-deserved hug. Look at that.
It's
Brilliant.
quite funny. Each of her attempts looked better than the one before, didn't it,
Yeah,
George? It's
yeah,
like
absolutely.
she was like recovering from her drastic cut. With each attempt she did, she was gaining back what she lost in strength.
I don't know about you, Abby, but
She's
what I find
fat.
wonderful about powerlifting is it doesn't really matter what the weight on the bar is. It's about what the weight means.
Absolutely,
Do you know what I mean? You know?
absolutely.
Because that's the most energized I've always been all day, just thinking I just
totally.
really wanted to not bomb on this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this should be Megan Garfield, and she's got it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I think that's something that powerlifters all understand.
Yeah.
Once you are a powerlifter, you understand the personal accomplishment
Yeah.
for each individual lifter. Somebody from the outside who hasn't competed thinks it's just like who has more weight on the bar. Actually, no. You know, like the respect that lifters get. It's about the challenge that lifter is overcoming.
Exactly. Whatever you came through to get here and get it done.
Yeah.
Here comes Ursula, 47.
Yeah, so now, like, Olivia's like one of the most popular lifters in this class now because of what she just did.
Of course. Because, and in fairness, just holding it together, right?
Yeah.
And coming out with a smile.
That took serious. Yeah, Olivia Horncastle, the movie coming in 2019.
Max
yes,
knows
the
what
journey.
Max knows what we need.
Yeah.
Massive thanks for the subscribe. I'm afraid I can't see the name because I'm just slightly away from the screen, but thank you. Thank you, Sweat and Glitter. Really appreciate the subscription. Subscriptions and likes are super appreciated every time. So if you are liking what you're seeing, do let us know. Here comes Amelia Brassnet at 50 kilos. It wobbles about a bit in the chest, but looks like she's driven it through.
Nice third attempt. Yeah.
Good lift.
Nice third attempt.
And the bar is loaded for Hannah. And we will be followed by Noah and Catriona.
Abby is once again being patient while I mess around with the position of her microphone. I think that should be... Yeah, there we go. Is that all right for you? Yes.
Yeah, it's good, thank you.
That's good.
Okay, so yeah, we're seeing quite a lot of third attempts at 50 kilos. So 50 kilos is kind of like, it's another one of those numbers that has significance to it because it's a round number. 50 kilo bench press.
There goes Hannah.
Really smooth, nicely executed. Really nice third attempt, yeah.
Big shout for Hammer.
It's also a significant proportion of the body weight of these 63 kilo class lifters. It can take years of work for a woman of this size to get to bench that kind of weight. It depends on the lifter. I mean, some people are really just gifted. Some people are gifted. And some people have extraordinary strength already. Sometimes people have built strength doing another sport. So although they are technically powerlifting novices, they're not novice athletes, and they've put in work, and that's why they're strong. But for a lot of us, we just have to work year after year to become strong.
It's good work from Nua. Looks good.
Yes.
3 white lights.
Yes.
Very strong. Please, could we have a 50 kilo still on the bar for Catriona?
Catriona McLean, also 50 kilo attempt here.
There she comes.
She is actually a weightlifter in her spare time. She's an Olympic weightlifter. That's her hobby, Olympic weightlifting.
That's a
So
hell of a hobby.
she's an all-round strength athlete, basically. Yeah.
Mafia, I'm starting to worry that we're going to put a serious dent into your dissertation, but you know, it's always good to have you.
Oh, who needs dissertations? No.
Catriona gets a good lift.
Yes, Eric. This competition is where it's at.
On the bar loaded. Bar is loaded for Naomi.
If I remember rightly, we need Mafia's dissertation because it's on fractures.
Oh, really?
Which would only, yeah. So we do need it. It actually is going to benefit us a whole bunch.
All right then.
I think that's right. There were a
Okay.
couple of dissertations last week, and I think Mafia's one was the fracture one.
Now, Naomi, 52.5. She did
Go
50
on,
on her
Naomi.
second attempt.
Oh no, it's just got caught.
Nah.
That's unfortunate.
No. So again, the classic sticking point of right angles on the elbows. Now, depending on the proportions of the lifter, their elbows can actually be right angles when the bar is like pretty much on their chest. So it's deceptive, like the point at which the lifter gets stuck on the bench press. Sometimes it looks like lifters are getting stuck at different places, but actually it's very often the same angle on the elbow. And then, depending on the length of their arms and the height of the arch, it could be on the chest or it could be a bit off the chest. But yeah, that 90-degree angle is often a sticking point. And as I was evangelizing earlier about board presses, because they produced a really great improvement in my bench press a few years ago when I started doing them. And board presses are kind of like always thought of as being only for equipped lifters. Lily Erskine fighting with 55 kilos. Oh, not quite, unfortunately. But you know, it's okay. She's lifting well today, and I think she got her other 2 attempts. The scoreboard scrolled past, so we can't see actually. Okay, Amy Viner, 55 kilos. So yeah, board pressing is a thing that equipped lifters do a lot of. But I actually personally found that a 1-inch board, board pressing with a 1-inch board, one session a week actually, has worked absolute wonders for my bench press. So I do a whole session every single week, board pressing with a 1-inch board, and it helps that sticking point with the right angles at the elbows. Great.
Isabel Kuma, 55 kilos from Surrey, bench press number 3. Gets herself set underneath.
Thank you, Mafia293. I do know what's up with the 1-inch board.
Here comes Isabel.
55 kilos.
Not quite.
No.
Loving having you with us, Steve. It's been a long day, but good to have you with us, man. Okay.
57.5 is just under her own body weight. She is light for the class, 60.65 kilos in the 63 kilo weight class, 57.5 kilo bench press. I still remember when I was benching 57.5 kilos, I'd been lifting for 8 years already when I was finally able to bench 57.5 as a 63 kilo class lifter.
Here comes Lisa, down it goes. Wow. No
really nice,
there, eh?
yeah. So she's an example of somebody who, she's already in quite an advantageous position when the bar's on her chest. So if she can get it off the chest, she's got it. She's that kind of lifter. 60 kilos for Rebecca Listman.
There goes Rebecca. Let's see how she gets on.
Yeah. What weight classes are remaining? Okay, so today, this session is the last session of the day, and it's only the 63 kilo class lifters in this session. Tomorrow, you'll see the 72 kilo class, the 84 kilo class, the 84 plus kilo class. Now, also the 47 kilo class lifters are tomorrow, funnily enough. So I think that's just because of the way the numbers worked. It was kind of good to combine the 47 kilo class lifters with those other lifters. But they're actually tomorrow. So what weight classes are remaining? Well, today, none. This is just this session with 63 kilo class. But tomorrow, you'll see the 72 kilo lifters, 84, 84 plus, and also 47 kilo class lifters.
So basically, none of you are getting your dissertations done, and you might as well just make peace with that now. Okay, so we're now going into the B group lifters bench press now. We've done our A group. Oh, have we not got Florence Eastwood
to have we?
go just yet? No, I only know because I can just see her on my waiting cap.
Okay, so we can't see the entire scoreboard, so it's easy for us to slightly
unless I'm mistaken. Florence looks like she's definitely up for lifting. But is she in the next flight?
Florence?
She's in the next flight, sorry.
Okay.
Or maybe it's not Florence. No, it is
We're just
Florence.
waiting for the scoreboard to be switched across to the B group. It looks like they're trying to switch it to the B group. So we're just waiting for the screen to update. Yeah, she's the first lifter in the B group. It is Florence Eastwood, and she's our first lifter in the B group. Opening bench press now. Back to openers. 42.5. Now, we are looking at some absolutely enormous openers towards the end of this group. Yeah. Some big weights in this B group.
42.5 for Florence. Let's see how she gets on.
Enviable back mobility. That's a proper high arch she's got. That was a nice bench press. Drama-free opener, 3 white lights. 45 kilos for Sophie Lester. 63 kilo class.
Here comes Sophie. Let's see how she gets on. Here she comes. Comes. See how it goes off the chest. Smooth enough.
Yeah.
That was a good lift, 3 white lights.
Good lift.
So yeah, I think with the opening bench press, generally there's not that much drama. So it's kind of like a bit of a calmer kind of point in the competition. Now we did have some drama in the last group, of course, with Olivia Horncastle. Wow.
Yeah,
that had us like biting our nails.
So here comes Caitlin Berry. How's she get on? Get set.
She's doing sport and exercise science at Birmingham. Is Caitlin?
Down it comes. Gets set in the chest. Gets pushed through.
Very nice. Yeah. Technically, very nice bench press. Again, we're seeing really impressive technique from almost all the lifters today. Even the lifters who, you know, obviously haven't been lifting that long. I'm impressed by the technical care that they're taking in the lifts. So Claire Porter, 50 kilos.
Claire Porter. Let's see how she gets on. Down it goes, up it goes, back in the rack, and a good lift. There you go. No complaints about that.
2.5 kilos on the bar for Lucy Logan. Do we have Caitlin
Lucy Hart, looking good to go in the warming area. Let's see how she gets on.
Now, interestingly, Lucy Hart is a hammer thrower.
Is what, sir?
She's a hammer thrower.
Oh, really?
Athletics, yes.
Oh, goodness me.
Her PB on bench is 57.5 kilos. So it looks like the strategy's probably open on something safe, 52.5, probably equal her PB on her second attempt, and then hopefully shoot for a new PB on the third. That would be what I would expect. Absolutely trouble-free opener, 52.5. Certainly looking good for 57.5, which would be her equaling her PB. Now, Catherine Sweetman, 55 kilo opener.
Just coming up now on 9 hours of live streaming here from Moulton College. Just a big shout out, obviously, to all the spotters, loaders, and everyone supporting the lifters. It's been a long days for people, and they've done some fantastic work putting all this together and supporting everyone. So massive shout out there. Shout out to everyone watching, especially those who've been with us all day. And yeah, really appreciate it all.
Okay, so yep, Catherine, 55 kilo opener. Catherine, wow, she's got lots of hobbies. Photography, fine art, rugby, and eating.
I would love to have that much time.
Yeah, very multi-talented, Catherine.
Rihanna Graham, out she comes for 55 kilos.
Yeah. Again, another one who she's quite light for the weight class. So when somebody sits at 61.5 kilos, you really don't know whether they just weighed in unexpectedly light, you know, like maybe they cut for their weight and they weighed in unexpectedly light, or perhaps that's Rihanna after a large fry-up. Perhaps she's really light and she didn't have to cut to make weight. You don't know when somebody's sitting at that weight. 55 kilo opener.
Fantastic bracing.
Yeah, what a great position.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So what she did there on her arch was it wasn't like a lot of bending of the lower back, it was the upper back mobility. She managed to get fantastically high chest position. which just puts your arms in the strongest possible position.
Out comes Isabel Davis at 60. Well chalked.
Strong opener.
Yeah. See if she gets on. It looks like she's going to feet on the bench and really arch into it like that.
Mm-hmm. Now that's interesting. She didn't put her bum down on the bench until she was actually holding the bar, and that's actually what I do.
Yes, that's also my way of doing things as well. So
I really like it.
yeah.
I couldn't go back now.
No, you're absolutely right. It's just that final moment of setting yourself, isn't it? And knowing that your shoulders are where you want your shoulders to be, and that it's the final act before being completely ready to go.
So I think what happens is when you get past the bar, if you've still got your hips kind of like and your bum like really high off the bench, and you're past the bar, your chest is really vertical, and the bar then weighs you into the bench. It pushes you into the bench, and it pins you in place, and it keeps your chest high. In a way that I don't think you can easily do if you set your bum and your hips down onto the bench.
Triggering your lat activation as well, isn't it? Which is super important.
Yes.
Let's see how Stephanie gets on. And she also is, yep.
62.5 over body weight opener.
Down it goes.
That's an achievement.
Up it goes.
Yep.
Back into the rack.
It wasn't the easiest opener we've seen, but it was still comfortable. An over body weight opener, that's a significant achievement. So what you can see in most of the weight classes today actually is you're seeing a factor of 2 difference in strength within the lifters within the same weight class. Yep. It just goes to show like natural differences in strength. You don't know how much work somebody's put in to achieve what they're achieving. You just don't know.
Victoria Hammond.
She impressed us a lot on the squat.
Squats. Let's see how
Hugely
she does.
strong squatter.
It's a good solid bench as well.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at Victoria has a strong opening deadlift as well, 145 kilo opener on the deadlift. Yeah, the squat's clearly her strongest lift, but very good all-round lifter by the looks of it. Okay, Suzanne Daniel, 65 kilo opener. She's also light for this weight class. Suzanne Daniel weighs 60.5 kilos herself.
So she's way over body weight at this, isn't she?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
See if she gets on.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that mobility. That's crazy.
And it's nice, you know, she's got a lovely margin to fill in within this weight class. Suzanne will kind of probably be safely within the 63 kilo class for years to come. Very nice position to be in. Wow. That was super easy. 65 kilos. Ella Louise Handley, 65 kilos also, above body weight. Yeah, so we're getting to some pretty strong all-round lifters at this point. But Ella Louise Handley, yeah, really strong squatter, 125 kilo third squat. That's a, you know, this is a good bench press as well. Yeah, her opening deadlift is a bit lower. That was incredibly easy, 65 kilos.
Yeah, no messing around,
like a feather. 72.5, Suzanne Golder. That's a big number. That's a big number for a 63 kilo class lifter. That's an opener. Yeah. So Suzanne Golder is an experienced competitor now. She's been powerlifting for a few years, and yeah, she's just been making steady progress over the years, and just, you know, the last couple of years, Suzanne has really been lifting some impressive weights. Nicely done. And the last lifter in the round is also attempting 62.5 kilos. Kate McCulloch-Young. Yeah, she's very light for the 63 kilo class. 59.05 kilo body weight, 72.5 kilo opener. Yeah. Now, her squats didn't go brilliantly. I mean, don't get me wrong, she finished on 125 kilos, but that was actually her opener. She didn't get her second and third attempt on the squat, but so far the bench is looking good. So there's going to be quite a fight between Suzanne Golder and Kate McCulloch-Young. There's not a lot to separate them. They're equal on bench at the moment. They ended up equal on squat. And they're opening deadlifts. Suzanne is opening 5 kilos heavier than Kate McCulloch-Young. But anything could happen, actually. We don't know who's going to win that. So, exciting contest there between Kate McCulloch-Young and Suzanne Golder for the overall total. Exciting fight shaping up. Now, I can't actually see subtotals, so I'm just trying to kind of like work out in my head who else might be in contention. I can't quite see right now.
Laying down a marker, that one from Kate moved very easily there, didn't it? So
yeah.
That's, let's see what happens. So we're back around to Florence.
So, yeah, Ella Louise Handley could also be in the mix. No, actually, no, her deadlift opener's too low, probably.
Here comes Sophie Lester, 47.5 down to the chest. Straight back up. Can't complain about that. Total building. It's all to the good. Meanwhile, Caitlin Berry, now she comes.
52.5. Only a 2.5 kilo increase from her opener, but that's not an inappropriately small step to make on bench press. It's still actually a significant proportion of the total weight. As a percentage, a 2.5 kilo jump is not that small actually for these lifters.
Here goes Caitlin Berry, 52 down, and straight back up. Easy.
Yeah. So to me, it looks like she's got at least another 2.5 kilos, if not 5, in there. Let's see what she chooses for her third attempt.
Claire Porter, 52.5.
Yep, she also opened on 50, so she's also opted for just a 2.5 kilo step between her opener and second attempt.
Here she comes.
Sometimes I think that a lifter might choose to do this. They might choose a 2.5 kilo step between the opening bench press and the second attempt to save energy, possibly for a 5 kilo jump to an absolute max effort third attempt. No.
No.
But in this case, she did 2.5 kilos because her opener was quite heavy. That's why she did 2.5 kilos. But yeah, sometimes you would say, right, I want to finish on, let's say you wanted to finish on 57.5 kilos for your third attempt. If you open on 50 and then did 55, the 55 might drain you too much for 57.5. So in some cases you might say, I'm going to do 52.5, save energy, and then go 57.5 on the third. Perhaps some people do that.
It's a good question, Elizabeth. I'm not sure I know if we're allowed
yes.
there. Oh, that's a yes. There we go. Brilliant.
If you mean gum guards, yes, absolutely. There are several lifters use them. Among those lifters is the legend Kimberly Walford.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kimberly Walford always wears a mouth guard. And it always looks pretty dramatic in pictures as well, because she bares her teeth and shows off her black gum guards.
That was a good one there for Catherine Sweetman. Back over to Lucy Hart. Out she comes. Let's see how she gets along.
57.5. She opens from 52.5. Yeah. So with the bench press, I find that like there's not a whole lot of strategy actually in attempt selection on bench press. I normally find.
Go on, Lucy.
There's not a lot of options.
Now, did that go down or did that not go down?
It looked to me like it went down.
She's all good, but I think
she's lucky. Okay, so one of the refs I think thought it did go down, but it's okay because she's got 2-1. It's all good.
That's all you need.
So 62.5 for Isabel. She opened on 60.
Here comes Isabel. Let's see what she's got. Down it goes. Oh, no. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Today it just wasn't for her there. It's a decent weight, so there's no... Isabel Davis. Oh, we've just had Isabel Davis. We're looking at...
I think Rihanna next up.
Yeah, Rihanna.
Same weight. Same weight on the bar. This is a big step in weight, actually. Rihanna opened on 55. She's now doing 62.5. That's a 7.5 kilo jump. So that's you know, that's the largest you're going to see usually in this weight class, that kind of step.
See how she's getting on. Rihanna grabbed 62.5 kilos. She's set. Let's just hope it moves. It's well braced. Yeah, that brace
really
is
high
incredible,
chest position.
Straight through.
Lovely. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good lift. That's what we like to see.
Very good.
We have 65 kilos on the bar for the next 2 lifters. And the bar is loaded for Stephanie.
So Stephanie Gagnon opened on 62.5. Now she is attempting 65.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she is Stephanie at 65.
She was already above her own body weight with her opener. Yeah, body weight bench presses are a big accomplishment for female lifters. Female lifters do not naturally have muscle on the upper body. Like, just biologically, women's hormones do not build muscle particularly on the upper body. So it has to be built from scratch with training because it isn't there naturally. So a bodyweight bench press is a big accomplishment. That was a nice 65 kilo lift there. So another thing about the effect of hormones is really interesting actually. Testosterone, it doesn't just build more muscle. It actually increases the percentage of the muscle you can recruit. Yeah, so what you find is that pound for pound, a male lifter, compare a male lifter with, like, you know, same level training to a female lifter. Pound for pound, the male lifter will lift 30% more just like that.
It's a good lift for Victoria Hammond by the looks of it. That's
65.
She's very strong, isn't she?
Yes.
She's happy with that one though. That's obviously a personal objective down. Let's see how we're getting along with Suzanne Daniel coming out for a 70 kilo bench.
70 kilos is a big bench press. Yeah, we're seeing some impressive numbers in the 63 kilo class today. Suzanne, light for the class, 60.4 body weight in the 63 kilo weight class. Yeah.
Suzanne Daniels with the humongous arch by the looks of things. Or at least it's setting up to be that way. Where it ends up, we don't know. Comes off, gets herself set. Down it comes.
Yeah, it's a nice high chest.
Oh,
yeah.
well, there's no problem there, is there? Good lift.
Yes. Great 70 kilo lift there. Yeah, great 70 kilo bench press.
Just keeping Ella Louise keeping herself warm with some sort of a jacket which was shrugged off. And then ably caught by the individual behind her, which looks like the coach. There's a little pause, which I just think is the bar loaded? Oh, she's doing the wrist wrap thing where you do your wrist wraps and then chalk up. Just keeping it composed. Personally, I would be freaking out if the bar had been loaded that long. But
yes, yeah.
That's
yes.
It's always impressive to see people keep it chill.
Yeah. We haven't yet seen anyone time out today.
No,
which is good. It's good.
Here comes Ella Louise. Let's see how she gets along. Braces well, brings it down, pushes it up. Wow, that was a hell of a sticking point, but she's made it through it. Yes. Brilliant. Well, when it sticks that hard, that fast, right, you know, you think, will she get it through?
But she got that.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes. So yeah, credit to her for not giving in.
Suzanne Gould up.
75. Only 2.5 kilo step up from her opener.
I think I'm right in saying Suzanne is the Cambridge captain. Have I got that right?
Yeah.
Yes, she is, isn't she?
So she says that's her hobby.
That's a hobby.
Captaining the team, because she ain't got time for anything else really. So yeah, because it's
on,
hard work.
Susie. There we go. Let's see how she gets on. Platform number 2. Feet down.
Now, her opener, certainly there wasn't any drama, but it also didn't look incredibly easy. So,
no.
So yeah, that just goes to show the 2.5 kilo step is not it's not that small for these lifters.
It's a relatively comprehensive sticking point as well, though. So I wonder what she's going to go for next. I don't know. Maybe the strategy was give it everything you've got, and in terms of sticking points, it did seem fairly straightforwardly stuck, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah, let's see what she's got. Maybe it's just a velocity thing. Kate McCulloch. Let's see where
77.5. Opened on 72.5.
Got a firm grip of the bar. Well, no problem there whatsoever, was there? Straight back in.
Yeah.
Very good. 3 white lights. It's the most you can get, which is all good.
So Suzanne opened on her PB actually. 72.5 is actually Suzanne's PB.
So it might be an energy conservation thing. Just get it done the way she goes. Yeah, it was a war, Steve, but she just seemed to hit that point, and that was that. And I'm not quite sure. It might just be about speed, or it might just be. We shall have to see next time round.
Don't know.
Kate McCulloch Young, 77.5, gets herself sat underneath. Nice big arch. Heels will come down later. Oh no, this is Florence Eastwood. I do apologise. This is Florence, and this is bench 3 for her, so this is presumably getting pretty heavy.
47.5.
See how she does.
Yeah, she's been taking 2.5 kilo steps on her bench.
Down it comes. Oh, wow.
Fantastic back mobility. Yeah, so I think with her sort of position, with the high arch, she's in the position where if she can get it off the chest, she's probably going to get it. Yeah, because she's not having to bend her arms that much. So yeah,
that's a shame, isn't it, Steve? If she's getting it, sort of regularly and well in training, it's a bit of a shame. It seems a sticking point. I wonder if it's. Sometimes these things can be a bit tricky in comp, though, can't they? Yep. Well, she's got one more shot at it. Let's hope this is the point where she breaks the mental block on that one, you know, because she's definitely got the strength. Meanwhile, Sophie brings down 50. And it deviates a bit forward, but she gets there in the end, which is also good. Good lift. Oh, and there we are. She really wanted that one. I don't know what that went. She was delighted with that one. That's fantastic. Claire Porter, 52.5. Out she comes.
Is there anybody out there? Come on, Claire.
Here comes Claire. Crowd getting behind her. 52.5. Down it comes. Well, there's no trouble there as long as she didn't beat the command.
And that was a...
Should you say good lift? Should you say good lift?
So nicely done, because she missed that on her second attempt.
Yeah, I think she just seemed to get the right command at the right time on that one. Is that right, Steve? Then that's even stranger, isn't it? If it's just a sticking point, it must be mental. If she's done it for a triple, that's a real shame when something like happens like that and you suddenly get convinced that you haven't got it. It can be. We underestimate the mental game in this stuff. You know, ultimately your head can trick you out of all sorts of weight that you otherwise have got very easily with your muscles.
Sometimes, although I have to say that I also think that lifters can get themselves psychologically into a pickle by believing that they don't have the right mindset.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Because they can be like, oh my goodness, I need to somehow get the right mindset, and if I don't get the right mindset, I won't make the lift. Sometimes, honestly, I think it's just as simple as just strength. And, you know, strength does vary from day to day.
So, Catherine Sweetman, is this Catherine Sweetman now?
It is, 60 kilos.
Go on, Catherine. There we go.
Yeah.
This is going to be a PB, so let's hope she gets this. So everyone swings behind her on this if this is a PB. She's picked the right time, bench press number 3. No more, nothing left to give. Gets herself set. Oh no, something went weird. So let's hope that she can just recover from there. Down it goes. No. So unfortunately, something that was unfortunate that something went wrong with her feet. I think they just slightly slid up from underneath her, which is unfortunate.
But,
Here comes Lucy
she did
Hart.
well. Like you know, in the context of the competition, she got her first 2 bench attempts. They were good, sensible attempts as well. So 60 kilos, Lucy Hart.
Here comes Lucy. Wow.
Yeah, good. Very good
not
attempt.
quite.
Oh, the referee didn't like it.
I think they said it was downward movement on the way in.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
So that's just kind of bad luck in that case, to be honest. I think that was a good attempt selection. I don't think they chose the wrong weight. It's just bad luck.
Sometimes it goes down like that. So Isabel Davis, here she comes. Here she comes. Let's see how she gets on. It's a self-set, brings it down. Presses it. No, that's gone down. Unfortunate. Gave it everything.
No.
We have 65 kilos on the bar. Shoulders. This is for Rihanna. Rihanna will be followed by Stephanie, Victoria, and Suzanne Danielle.
All right.
And the bar is loaded.
Sorry, everybody. We just momentarily lost commentary as I made a terrible, terrible mess of the mic stand. Anyway, here's Isabel Davis. I hope you can hear Abby as well. Yeah, here she comes. Fantastically high arch. Comes underneath.
Actually, I think we're looking at Rihanna.
This is Rihanna, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so it's just the scoreboard. They're just like
caught up.
updating it. Yeah. So this is 65 kilos.
Down it comes down very... Oh, no, can't fault the effort, but that's not going to quite fly today, is it?
So, Stephanie's been taking 2.5 kilo jumps on her bench press, 62.5 successful opener, 65 second attempt, 67.5 is the third attempt that she's shooting for. All of her attempts have been above her own body weight of 61.1 kilos. So Stephanie is doing a PhD in sport and health science at Loughborough. She's a graduate student.
See how she gets on here.
Yeah.
67.5. Taking her time. Looks good to go. Let's see how she gets on. Comes down to the chest. Ooh, 2 sticking points, but through them both, which is great.
Nicely executed, 3 white lights. Now, Vicky Hammond.
67.5. See how she gets
The
on.
Birmingham team are providing a lot of support for their lifters here. It's the Birmingham crowd.
It's really nice
They're
to see.
supporting their lifters, yeah. And they're sitting right behind us, and they're like super loud earlier. they've mellowed it. They've mellowed a little as the competition's gone on, but there's still like a good level of support for the Birmingham lifters.
Here comes Victoria Hammond. Let's see what she gets. It moves down to the
67.5.
chest. It's underneath. It's going. No, not quite. Can't fault the effort, but just wasn't quite there today.
Yeah.
And we're getting to that point in the competition where everyone starts to get a little bit. I guess everyone starts to get a little bit hungry. Everyone starts to feel a little bit like it's about the focus, keeping the focus in place before the deadlifts kind of ping everyone back round. Yeah.
So in competition, normally, kind of bench press warm up, particularly, and in between my bench attempts, I'm actually desperately trying to eat because I have to cut quite a lot of weight to make weight for the competition, and you have to kind of stop eating while you're doing squats, otherwise you'll throw up. So you eat what you can during just up until and during your early squat warm-ups. That was 3 white lights there. For, I think that was Suzanne Daniel, 72.5 kilos. 75 kilos, Suzanne Golder. Now, this will be a PB for her.
And we know she's had this in the
She
gym.
missed it, yeah, she missed it on the second attempt, but we don't know why she missed it. She doesn't look unduly concerned. Yeah. So
she knows she's got it, she's just got to get it going on the platform. One!
But she doesn't. She doesn't look unsettled. She looked happy going on.
Gets herself set. Gets herself in position. It's just a case of driving through it at this point. Gets braced. Down it goes. No. So whatever that is, it's not going to get broken today. But next time,
oh well.
see how she's doing.
Yeah.
Either way, another lift to go. So Ella Louise Handley, 77.5.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know what it could be actually is working out how to peak each of your 3 lifts for the competition. It's challenging. It's different for every lifter. Each lift needs different treatment in terms of peaking, in terms of the volume in the lift. It's actually easy to undertrain a bench press by mistake. So sometimes you peak a bench press by mistake when you're doing quite a lot of volume, because actually bench press can respond really well to volume. Sometimes, particularly for female lifters, they need a lot of volume to maintain the bench. So that's just something that perhaps needs to... I have no idea if that's the case for Suzanne, who knows. But it's... You can only work out by experience what the right approach is for peaking each lift. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kate McCulloch-Young steps out, 82.5.
82.5.
It's a big one. Let's see how she gets along.
Okay.
Looking good thus far. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Steve. Abby makes a very good point. It's about how you peak each and every one of those lifts. So there it is. It goes up for Kate McCulloch, and no complaints.
Yeah. So some people are quite dogmatic about how, what prescription they would give in terms of volume that you need. Yes, Mafia 293, female lifters need to taper volume close to comp. It isn't just the female lifters, but it is more the case for female lifters. So when I say it isn't just for female lifters, Paralympic bench press British legend Ali Jawad, he trains, he does 5x5 the day before his bench comp on 80% of his 1 rep max.
That's pretty crazy all ways around.
Yes. Now Ali Jawad benches 200 kilos at body weight of something like 60. So Ali Jawad knows what he's doing when it comes to benching, and he thinks you should bench the day before comp. Wow. Now, clearly there's lots of people who are incredible benchers who don't do that. But don't discount that. Don't discount the possibility that you should do quite a lot of bench volume in the week of your comp.
So we look like we're moving towards a little break as we get ready for deadlifts, which I think I could do with a coffee. I'm sure, Abby, you could do with a cup of tea or something similar.
Yeah, that'd be nice, actually. Yeah.
So we're gonna be away for about, I would say, no more than 5-10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Thanks so much to everyone. Big shout out to Eleiko, SPD spotter. We are Wired Up Media. We're here from Moulton College with the British Women's University Championship, and we will be back really soon. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for the final time, today at least, to the Women's University Championship here at Moulton College. On behalf of British Powerlifting, my name's George, I'm with Wired Up Media, we're running the live stream. I'm here with Abby, who's been providing absolutely fantastic commentary today, and just doing some absolutely wonderful work. This competition's been run by Moulton Powerlifting Club here at Moulton College. Moulton Powerlifting Club are incredible, spread all judges, lifters, loaders, and all the other people that would be required. And similarly, Moulton College have been brilliant helping us out along the way. We're moving into deadlifts now. It won't take long, they'll fly by.
Yeah.
And we've seen a fantastic day of lifting. So do stick with us, give us a shout if there's anything you want. We're on the chat, we're live. We're good to go. We have had some internet connectivity issues today. We hope that they're resolved. If they happen, just stick with us. We'll be back ASAP. I am now going to run off and readjust my cameras because the judge has done gone sat right in the middle of my camera angle. In the meanwhile, I'll hand you over to Abby, who is more than capable of carrying on in my absence.
Thank you, George. Good evening, everyone. So, this is the 63 kilogram lifters, 63 kilo weight class women. There's a lot of 63 kilo class lifters, so we've got two groups of them tonight, so the entire session is just this weight class. So I think there's going to be a pretty exciting fight for the top position, actually. So we've got some more novice lifters first of all, before we get to the people fighting for the medal positions. But that was a nice 75 kilogram opener from Megan Garfield that you saw just there. On to Emma Glenham with an 80 kilogram deadlift opener. So we're not expecting any drama with the deadlift openers. We expect them to be trouble free. Let's hope if let's see if that's indeed the case. Yep, 63 kilogram lifters. 80 kilogram opening deadlift from Emma Glenham, no problem at all. Yeah, the deadlift happens quickly. There isn't as much setup required for a deadlift as there is for a bench press and for a squat. It's more just a monumental effort to drag the weight off the floor. So you can come on with quite a lot of determination and ferocity and do it relatively quickly. So the pace of the competition is quickening now. 82.5 kilos for Laura Petch opener, successful. Ursula Davies, 85, she's going to attempt for her opening deadlift.
Here comes Ursula, see how she gets along. Like you say, Abby, it's going to rocket through from this point, so don't go anywhere. Big shout out to everyone on the stream. Big shout out to all the people who've been here all day. Thanks so much for your time, we really appreciate it. Ursula pulls that, down it goes. As always, keep the feedback coming on the chat. We always want to hear what you're thinking, good or bad. It's always appreciated at our end. Amelia Bassett, or Brunasset, stepping up now. Here she comes, Amelia. It's a good lift.
Yeah, it was good. Matthew 293 has commented that even on the deadlift you still get the people with overly dramatic long setups. I get complimented on my unique setup actually for the deadlift. I get fans for my deadlift setup.
Well, now I want to see it. Maybe you should jump out and chuck a quick one in at the end. Looks like it was good for her.
Deadlift is my best lift. So my deadlift setup has been described as a voodoo incantation. That is the description that's been used of my deadlift setup.
Here comes Lisa Jones with 92.5. Gets herself set.
So we're not seeing any overly dramatic, lengthy setups yet on the deadlift. People are just, they're not wasting time. They're walking onto the platform. They're just quickly composing themselves and doing it. Now, to be fair, you don't need to dig too deep for an opening deadlift. You might see a bit of a slowing in the pace on the final deadlift.
So here comes Olivia, who, if we remember rightly, had a little bit of a trouble with her first bench. So let's just hope she's properly rehydrated and that this is just going to fly up. Because I'm not sure my heart could take the drama after all the coffee I've drunk today. Come on, Olivia. Let's get it done. Yeah, that's fine. Surely that's fine.
So yeah, people now asking see my deadlift setup. I'm not on Instagram actually, Matthew. Not really. I'm not really on Instagram. But if you Google Abby Graham deadlift, I think you might find something. Abby Graham deadlift. Yeah. Naomi Fenton, 100 kilos. Opener. So far, pleasantly lacking in drama for the openers. We don't want drama on the opening deadlifts. Not really. Yes, good. 3 white lights.
Sorry for the loss of connection there, folks. This is what I mean about the internet. Sometimes it just decides it's not there. Definitely is there. Anyway, we're back for Lily. Let's hope that's all good. Yeah. Thanks for sticking with us. Sorry, we're not quite sure what's causing that, and neither are the crew here at Moulton. However, they're doing their best to fix it. Anyway, good to have you back. Long way to continue. If it doesn't, you might find the connection drops again as we try and find another solution. But hopefully now we've got you and you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we're just getting some slight delays with the scoreboard here. So anyway, that looks like everyone's got their openers so far. So Rebecca Lissman, 117.5 opener. Her deadlift PB is 122.5, Rebecca Lissman.
See how she gets on.
She would appear to be on track for a new PB today, just judging by her deadlift opener. But let's see how hard it looks. Yes. So it looks like Rebecca is probably going to get a new deadlift PB today, because that's only 5 kilos less than her old PB, and it didn't look like it was a problem. So Isabel Coomer, she's a sports scientist from Surrey, and one of her hobbies is football. So I assume she means playing it as well. So an all-round athlete. Amy Viner, 140 opener.
With the connection at this end, as it seems to be intermittent to an extent that I imagine you're getting quite a lot of buffering, which may mean you lose the stream.
Now, Emma Glenham, also attempting 85 kilos for a second attempt.
Okay, so that went a bit smoother than I hoped, so hopefully you're now back with us, and you should be back with us and consistent. We're just, for those of you who are technical, we're just having to jump between 2 networks. It seems like after a while one network gets cross with us and kicks us back out, but then the other network lets us roll. So hopefully by switching across we've got ourselves traffic to the end of the day. But obviously, like I say, we can only do what we can do, and the team here at Moulton have been fantastic to try and get us a consistent connection, but just doing battle with some gremlins. Lovely. Out comes Laura Petch.
Yeah. 87.5 kilos. Second attempt. She opened on 82.5. Let's go, Laura. Yeah, that looked like a good choice for a second attempt. Yep, clearly she's got more in the tank, but it obviously took a bit of work. So that was a sensible attempt. Ursula Davies, 92.5 for the second attempt. She opened on 85, and she got that without a problem. She's doing a PhD in business at Loughborough, so she's a graduate student.
Pulled that with ease.
Good.
We have 95 on the bar loaded. This is for Amelia. Amelia will be followed by Hannah and Olivia. Bar loaded.
So this is Amelia's first competition. She's a chemistry student at Oxford. Her first competition. We're seeing just an awful lot of impressive lifting from novice competitors today. That was a really good second deadlift. So I've been struck by the quality of the technique from all of the lifters that we've seen. Although there's quite a wide range of weights in terms of attempts, the technique has been uniformly quite impressive, actually.
Here comes Hannah O'Brien.
So we haven't seen any ugly cat back deadlifts at all. Nothing close. Highly disciplined, highly technical lifting, even from these relatively novice lifters in some cases.
Here comes Olivia Horncastle.
Olivia, yes.
So yeah, she does
So
it.
she's given us such excitement today with that incredible recovery on the bench press. Yeah, all credit to her. I mean, that was just hard work that brought her that recovery. Yeah.
Oh, and that's graft as well. But
yes,
she's got it done.
Not particularly easy, but you know, she got her opener, so yeah. So so I think it's Olivia's first comp day as well. So you know, really quite a fantastic performance for first competition, and particularly that's a baptism by fire on the bench for first comp, to have that experience in bench press and survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon.
Very little the sport can throw at her now,
yeah.
isn't there? Let's be perfectly honest. Here comes Lisa Jones, tucks herself underneath. It's slow, but it's up.
Yeah.
And it goes. Good. We're just a little bit lost.
Sorry. Yeah, we can't do nothing.
Hi, Edwin. Yeah, we are
Lily.
aware of that. I'm afraid I'm a bit
Come
stuck
on,
at
Lily.
this end. There's some sort of infrastructure problem. We're trying to get to the bottom of it, but it's a bit tough.
So Lily Erskine, 110 kilos second attempt.
And the bar is loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate at this end,
really
I'm afraid.
frustrating.
Like I say, it's not the college so much as the infrastructure outside the college. We are trying to get in it. We're just trying to piggyback between two networks, but unfortunately, we don't choose the timing of this.
No.
It's a little bit beyond us.
If it was within our
we
powers,
keep with this,
we
we would try and stick with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, Abby, you stick with this. I'm going to do some fiddling around the
Sure.
background, see if I can get something to fix this.
Kalisman's deadlift PB is 122.5 kilos. So for her second deadlift, she's attempting 125, which would be a new PB for her.
So we've moved back onto Network 1, which was giving us problems before. It's obviously more consistent than Network 2. That's not what should happen, but that's the way. Hopefully you're still with us for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to, again, do a little run around and check that there's nothing obvious that I can't fix here.
Yeah.
We'll do our very best to keep you as best as we can. Hopefully you're with us for now. And again, sorry for the glitching. Like I say, unfortunately, they're dealing with an infrastructure problem here, and it's a little bit tricky for everyone involved. We'll leave you. Hopefully you've got a good signal now. I'm going to go and have a look and see if there's anything obvious we can do. Just for the record, we carry 4G dongles precisely against this situation. Unfortunately, we're in a complete double bind in that Moulton, unfortunately, is in a 4G black spot. So it's a bit of a perfect storm. Anyway, hopefully you're with us for now. We'll see where we go.
Yeah. Yeah, it is upsetting. It is upsetting that we're losing live stream.
Even more upsetting for us. Like I say, the video video recording is running at the same time as well. So hopefully none of the footage whatsoever is lost. You should be up and good, and we should be all good to go. It'll take a while to get through to YouTube, but when it does, it'll be on.
So 150 kilo second attempt from Amy Viner. Now that's a deadlifter. There is no problem with that. 150 kilos, big deadlifting. Okay, so incidentally, your Oxford powerlifting president Lily Erskine, you can halt the impeachment proceedings. By the way, I'd just like to say that you can halt them because Lily got her second deadlift attempt, so there's no need to impeach her now. Okay, just thought I'd just say that. Okay, so now, okay, so actually, yeah, sorry, that was. I think we're into the third round now of the bench press. We're just waiting for the score sheet to update. Yeah, third and final round of deadlifts for this Group A lifters.
Sorry, Emma, she's going out. Lift is good. We have 92.5 on the bar, loaded for Megan.
3 white lights. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the scoreboard to update. It's actually, it's not quite clear actually who's lifting right now. The scoreboard has not been updated for a few lifts. It'll catch up. But we're into the third and final round of the deadlifts for Group A at the moment. We've still got the Group B deadlifts to come. So a lot of the really big totals are in Group B. But we're seeing some impressive deadlifting from Group A nonetheless, though. We saw a pretty phenomenal 150 kilo deadlift from Amy Viner just at the end of that group.
Sorry.
So, yeah, we're still waiting for the scoreboard to update who's lifting.
So we've got a big request for everyone who's on the live stream. All please cross your fingers. We did locate someone on site who, unbeknownst, did not know what we were doing with the internet, and so was therefore streaming a whole bunch of radio sites. So hopefully, right, that was the thing that was kicking out the internet. So that's now stopped, and no complaints. They stopped it straight away because they're good guys here at Moulton. So fingers crossed, right? Everyone cross your fingers.
Okay.
We're up, we're running, we're not going anywhere. I can't promise anything, but that's why we do the lap to make sure no one's done anything.
Okay. So we're into the third deadlift. So you know, we're gonna see them. That was 90 kilo attempt there. 3 white lights. Yeah. So now, yeah, the third deadlift is where some seriously monstrous efforts have to be made by the lifters. It's significantly a case of how much do you want the lift. How much of a monstrous effort are you willing to make to get your third deadlift? So it's pretty intimidating. You just know it's going to be really hard. So Laura Petch, 92.5 kilos. That was quite smooth. I mean, that looked like a pretty comfortable third deadlift. It was good.
So lovely. So now I'm back. We can sort of cycle through the cameras a bit better. Hopefully you can see a bit better what's going on. Hopefully it was the radio that was giving us issues before. I think we're back to Olivia, which means that I've nearly missed a cycle, but that's all good.
And possibly Ursula. Possibly Ursula.
I think this is Olivia, isn't it? Yeah, I think the score sheet's having a bit of a day of it.
I think. Okay, so it might be Amelia Brasnet. It might with 100 kilos.
Go on, go on, go on. No. Some days it's not coming up. Yeah, it was Olivia Horncastle. Didn't quite happen there, but that's not the end of the world.
No. Okay, right. I think the scoreboard's finally caught up.
Hannah O'Brien.
So Hannah O'Brien, 105 kilos. Yeah. Yeah, the loaders are immensely efficient. So it is thanks to the legendary Mike King, who's the platform manager, and his fantastic crew. It's thanks to them that we're not here past midnight tonight. And I kid you not, the speed at which they're changing the plates is incredible. And it's thanks to them that we're actually going to be able to leave in time to actually get some sleep tonight. Yeah, Mike King was platform manager last weekend for the men's championships as well. Mike King's a machine, really, when it comes to running the platform. The amount of weight that he lifts in a day is incredible. He just, keeps working hour after hour.
Oh,
Lisa Jones, 105. No. Lily Erskine, 115. So hopefully the Oxford crew have accepted that they don't need to impeach Lily from her position as the Oxford president. So.
Oh yes, yeah, of course.
Second attempt, so I
Did
think
she
there's
know how
need.
much was riding on this? I mean, it's a big lift for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, she looks pumped for this one.
So come on, Lily.
Cranks her hand in. Push. Oh no. Sometimes you got to put it down, right? There's no point in straining yourself out. That's you only get one back. But can't fall for effort. So keep those fingers crossed on the live stream. The radio thing has fixed it. Just everyone's fingers crossed, and that's all good. Here comes Amy Pittman. drops her hips, head up, pushes, 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 pushes.
No,
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 that's
no.
not gonna.
No.
It's not gonna fly
No.
today. Hey ho, can't fault the effort.
No. So Naomi Fenton, 115 as well. Her
she
last
comes.
attempt was 110.
See how she gets
I
on.
think Naomi had a bit of drama on her squats.
There's a bit of a twist there.
No.
Yeah, that was not gonna fly.
But you know, she did well on her deadlift. She got her first two, so you know, it's okay. Well, it's always it's a little bit dispiriting. If you don't get your last deadlift, it's kind of it's a bit deflating. You always want to get your last deadlift if you can, just because it finishes on a high. Ooh, sumo deadlift. We haven't seen so many sumo deadlifts over the last few lifts. 115. That was nice. Yeah. Jordan, yeah, thanks. Yeah, surprisingly, we haven't seen any catback deadlifts, and the sumo lifting has impressed me really as well. Like the lifters determined in holding their start positions on the sumo deadlift. Just impressive. Catriona McLean, 115 kilos, third attempt. She missed that on her second attempt, I think. She got it. Good. So, Rebecca Lissman, 132.5. Now, Rebecca, wow, she's totally destroyed her previous deadlift PB, which was 122.5. So, she's left that in the dust with her second attempt anyway. I seem to recall that 125 looked actually pretty reasonable. 132.5 for a third attempt. Yeah.
There's Rebecca in the waiting area. See how she gets on. Takes the time. Wow. Well, when it hurts that much and you still make it, it's quite a thing. Let's just
I
see.
hope she got it.
Yeah, let's hope so. You have to have a heart of stone not to. No, judges are lovely.
Yeah. That was an all-out effort from Rebecca.
Yeah, because it was hard right from the beginning, wasn't it? Yeah.
She was shaking with the effort, but she kept control of it and she didn't give up, and that was an impressive lift. Yeah. Okay, so Isabel Kumar, 135.
So we are now just passing the 10-hour mark. The 10-hour mark of competition today. Just a massive shout out to all the people who've made that possible, because it's been fantastic. Here comes Isabel. Oh no, that looked like a hitch.
Okay, there was a bit of a, there was a little bit of a
no.
Okay, unfortunately, yeah.
Technical hitch.
Yes, so that's the kind of thing that you may not actually reveal that weakness in training. Sometimes that's the kind of weakness that only appears on a max effort. The sort of running out of steam and the sort of having to hitch kind of at that point. Partly it's confidence, partly it's about kind of maintaining patience in the correct position to avoid that hitch. But sometimes it's actually a case of you need to train an overload on the deadlift. Like, for example, some reverse band deadlifts.
Oh, wow. So if Amy pulls this off without, oh no.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so it's a little step forward.
Yeah.
Full marks for effort staying at it, right? But unfortunately, there it is.
She did a very impressive 152nd attempt, actually. Yeah.
Big shout out to everyone who's been patient with us on the live stream. Again, keep your fingers crossed and touch any wood you have available, but it looks like we're holding at about 1 megabit per second now. So the issue was presumably whoever was listening to the radio, who, as we say, didn't know any better and stopped straight away, so fair play. Meanwhile, we're waiting for Caitlin Berry. Just to, again, say shout out to say we've passed 10 hours of competition. So these spotters, these loaders, are the judges. Obviously, Abby, who's doing sterling work on the commentary, all need a big shout out, because frankly, it's been a long day, and there's been some hard work done. And all respect to everyone for sticking with it and getting the job done. Respect, of course, as well to the lifters and all those people who support the lifters. You know, it's a hard job for them as well, and even harder for the lifters to keep it all together. In the meanwhile, Caitlin Berry is bopping away in the background to whatever her favourite choice of music is. Out she goes.
97.5. Now, we're seeing the opening deadlifts for the Group B 63 kilo class. And we've got some big subtotals in this Group B class. So this is probably where our winners are going to come from the 63 kilo weight class. Fairly smooth sumo deadlift opener from Caitlin Berry. Florence Eastwood also opening on 97.5 kilos.
That goes Florence. Stamps down. See how she gets on.
Florence is studying medicine at King's College, London.
Drops in, stands it up, pops it down. What I quite like seeing is the little smile people give when they know that they can't bomb out anymore right at the top of that deadlift.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's just so nice to see people being like,
absolutely.
I'm done, that's it.
Yeah,
My score can count.
Yeah.
Catherine Sweetman, so go on, Catherine. It's the shout out that I think was requested, and if not,
Thank you,
sorry if
Amino.
I've shouted at someone instead.
One of my friends has just commented. My friend Amino. Thanks, Amino. I'm so happy that I can still speak. I thought my voice would have gone by now.
Sterling work,
Yeah.
Abby. Sterling work. You're well on it.
So it's an interesting observation with the hook grip. George, you were saying that. You saw a lot of hook grip last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, which I found bizarre because I can't pull hook grip to save my life. But, you know, seemingly, you know, a lot of the younger guys are pulling it like that. And I don't know whether that's because they're still mixing up Olympic lifting and powerlifting because they're young individuals who still have the energy for that sort of thing and not old and jaded like people like me who barely managed to powerlift. But either way, there was a lot of it, you know, and it seems to be working for people as well. So maybe time for a reassessment of whether mixed grip is the absolute thing it needs to be.
Yeah.
Not for Catherine Sweetman though, who's gone straight in for the mixed grip, pushes it hips through.
Hook grip equals fad. Yeah, you do sometimes see fads in powerlifting, don't you? You know, whether hook grip is a fad or not, I wouldn't like to say. Yeah. But personally, for me, the appeal of the mixed grip is partly that it's quick to execute.
Thanks for that, John Clark. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks for being with us all day,
you.
especially for sticking around when, you know, people turned on radios and whatever it was that knocked us out. Super appreciate that. That's great from Sophie Lester by the looks of it. 3 white lights.
Yeah, nicely done. Yeah, hook grip, guys with big hands. Well, yes, but also I would suggest that the strength of men is larger in proportion to the size of their hands. So grip is, I think, more likely to be a problem for male lifters than for female lifters. You know, a guy's hands, they're not actually that much bigger than a woman's hands, whereas in the same frame, they've got a lot more muscle. And the advantage of testosterone mean that the muscular efficiency of the muscle, like the percentage of muscle fibers used, is even greater. So that then puts demands on the grip, which women actually tend not to have. Yeah, I think honestly, I see grip failures very rarely for women on the deadlift. It happens. It happens. But I see it rarely.
Isabel Davis, 125, gets herself set. And drops it in. Let's see how this goes.
So that's a nice sort of hybrid sumo stance there.
So the weight was pulling her forward a bit, but she got away with it.
So I think one thing that is a bit of a powerlifting fad that perhaps we're starting to see the end of is it. I think a couple of years ago, you know, like everyone thought, you know, oh, you've got to do sumo. If you're not doing sumo, you're missing a trick. And people would also claim, some people would claim, that if you weren't doing like extremely wide sumo, then you were not getting the benefit of sumo. So I think that opinion has shifted a little bit on that. I think that people are starting to think that you can actually sumo deadlift quite well in a more moderate stance, depending on what your advantages are, depending on your own personal leverages. Yeah. So we're seeing some sort of what you might call an Ed Cohen hybrid sumo stance with some of these lifters today. And that's a very, very effective way for some people to deadlift. You don't have to go super wide on sumo to get a good deadlift.
Up goes Ella Louise Handley with 130. Wasn't messing around there.
Yeah, pulled up super fast.
Meanwhile, in the wings, Stephanie Gagan. No, Gainan. Stephanie has momentarily been confused with one of my previous employers there. So there we go. Sorry, Catherine Gagan, who I'm sure is not working, as you're a comedy promoter and not a powerlifter at all. Anyway, Stephanie, who is now correctly titled, steps up.
135 kilo opener. So yeah, plenty of over double body weight deadlift openers from this strong group at the end of Group B here.
Gets set, drops her hips, slight twist to the head, doesn't seem to matter. Down it goes. Good lift.
Good. Now, in terms of subtotals and strong deadlifts, Kate McCulloch-Young and Suzanne Golder, there's a pretty exciting competition going on between them.
Looks good from here. Good lift.
So we can't actually see like predicted totals. So I'm having to kind of like my mental arithmetic's not that amazing anyway. So I'm trying to work out who's likely to be in contention for the title here. I think it's between Suzanne Golder and Kate McCulloch-Young.
Suzanne Golder has acquired some headgear in the gap between bench and deadlift. I'm not sure if this has any significance. Let's hope it gives her the edge to pull this 140.
Okay.
She's taking
Sumo
the time.
stance.
They're not messing around. Let's see.
They're going to need every lift at this point.
Yeah, it's tight.
So they can't afford to make any mistakes.
No, as long as that was all good. Yes, and it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So that looked easy, I would say.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's going to be straining on the grip, right? Because her hands are right by her thighs. So she's going to be really tapped up so that the hand doesn't come. But I feel sure that people on the stream will know that she's got pretty chunky grip strength.
Now, Suzanne Daniel. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, we've got Suzanne Daniel in the running.
Okay, so that's a very good point about the IPF approval for the bow. So we will escalate that to the judges and check.
So actually, we've got a number of lifters who are, I think it's too close to call actually. It's down to the deadlift here.
Okay, that moved
Suzanne
very smoothly
Daniel.
for Suzanne Daniel. Yeah.
Also a convincing 145 opener. Victoria Hammond. So.
Here comes Victoria Hammond.
Yeah.
Self-set. Deep breath. Drives it up. So, coming back next.
105 will be underbar for the next.
So if I was a coach, I would be adding up the subtotals and the predicted totals for these lifters. We can't see the predicted totals on the score sheet at the moment, unfortunately. We've got the subtotal, we've got the deadlift attempts, but my mental arithmetic isn't good enough to do those calculations for all of those lifters. But the coaches should be. The coaches should be doing it because it's going to come down to a single deadlift. Yeah. Wow, we're seeing some drama with the second attempt. Suzanne Daniel appears to be jumping 15 kilos onto her second attempt. Yes, the weight classes tomorrow are the 72 kilo class, the 84 plus, and the 47s. John, we had the 52s this morning actually. The 52 kilo class is already lifted. It's the 47, but you're right. There's a lightweight women tomorrow. It's the 47s. So basically, you'll find that there's not as many lifters in the extreme ends of the weight classes. The larger lifters and the very lightweight lifters, you'll find there's not as many lifters in those. So that'll be why they're putting the 47s in tomorrow to make up the numbers. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's odd in terms of you're going to see a very wide range of attempted weights, but in terms of kind of like the groupings of the numbers, there's not that many 47 kilo class lifters, there's not that many 84 plus kilo class lifters, so I think that's why they've collected them together tomorrow, because we can't be splitting weight classes across days, so that's the challenge there. So okay,
Catherine Sweetman, 115.
115, okay.
Getting her tunes in before she starts. She goes.
So So for some of these lifters, this is a little bit below double body weight in the deadlift. And then just a couple of lifts from now, we're going to be safely clear of double body weight with 130 Isabel Davis, 2 lifts time from now.
So
Catherine Sweetman.
It's effort. She stood it up.
Yeah. So she did pull that smoothly, but that wasn't easy. I'd be surprised if she's got much left on that.
Yeah, indeed.
Sophie Lester, 120.
Sophie Lester.
Fractionally below twice her body weight. Fractionally below. Nicely done from Sophie Lester. 120, 3 white lights. Isabel Davies, 130. And now you're into double body weight on the deadlift. She's light for the 63 kilo class, 59.9 kilos. So I assume that she just naturally is sitting very comfortably within the weight class. I assume she did not cut down to 59.9 kilos. So that's really nice. She's in a great situation for being in the 63 kilo class for years to come. She should be able to just gradually fill out the muscle on her frame and fill up that 63 kilo weight.
Good lift.
130 from Isabel Davies, nicely done. Rihanna Graham, 61.5 kilos, also attempting 130. Again, you know, this is past twice her body weight. This is past it.
Composes herself, gets herself set, gets her hips underneath it, pulls hard, puts it back down.
That didn't look hard.
No, didn't look hard at all, did it?
No. 140, Lucy Hart. Lucy is also light for the 63 kilo weight class. Yeah.
Clearly coached by Dean Bowring.
Oh, yeah.
Who is also, if you look closely, on the picture in the backdrop, pulling what just looks like an absurd amount of weight. There we are.
Oh, yeah.
Who put on the British bench not so long ago, Dean. Fantastic competition. It was the first one we live streamed, so thanks to him for all his help with that. Here comes Lucy Hart, drops underneath it. Oh, it's a push, but she's got it.
Yes.
Puts it back down.
Yeah, good sumo lift.
White lights, as expected.
Maintain position really well in sumo deadlift. I haven't yet seen anyone get badly pulled out of shape trying to start their sumo deadlift.
And I think that's kind of attempt selection, isn't it? Just people knowing what they're about at this stage.
Yeah, but also just again, like, technically impressive.
Agreed.
I think it takes discipline and determination not to lose position if your deadlift isn't moving quite as fast as you wanted.
Yes, yeah. Well, yeah, to not freak out and decide that you're going to
and
suddenly
go,
improvise.
Oh no, I'm not sure if I can do this. And
Rarely a good idea to improvise with weights like this. Here comes Stephanie.
142.5.
It's
a big effort. She keeps it moving though. Good, good. No real sticking point.
Excellent.
Yep. I don't think she's got a lot left. That looked like a max effort to me. It was good though.
Slowly but surely the room is filling with the scent of talcum powder, which reflects where we're at in the competition.
142.5 for Kate McCulloch-Young. Now she's got one of the biggest. She's got the biggest subtotal actually here. Now, I don't know what happened there, but that's a problem for Kate McCulloch-Young. She had the biggest subtotal, and to miss a lift at this point is not desirable.
That's unfortunate. I don't know how that's managed to happen. I think
don't
she
know.
knew
I don't know
it
what
wasn't
happened.
there. But you'd always rather see someone put it down than pop their back out. You know, it just didn't quite look like it was there. So let's see what Ella Louise does now.
Yeah, 142.5.
Little false start. Hopefully,
conventional
the room has
deadlift.
gone deadly sign. There it is.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. So I think with the conventional deadlift, I think you also see different sticking points depending on the proportions of the lifter. I think when you've got a lifter who's like more like a kind of squat proportions and they're more upright on the deadlift,
Here she comes.
Okay, Suzanne Golder. Yeah, this is
Suzanne
important
Golder,
for her
so this
as well.
is important, and it'll be important for the stream
yeah.
as well. Go on!
I think she's in the running for a placing in this class.
So
I don't know exactly where, but
in my desire to give her the shout out I'm sure the stream wants, I have received a very dangerous look, so I'll refrain and be a bit more quiet. Here comes Suzanne, 147.5. The room is deadly silent. Gets underneath it. Commits. Okay, I don't think there was any forward movement there. I don't think there's any reason they can't. Yeah, there it is. Superb.
Yeah, smoothly executed. So, Victoria Hammond did have the second, what appears to be the second biggest subtotal in this weight class, next to Kate McCulloch-Young. But Vicky looks to be the better deadlifter. And she's just got her second attempt. 155 kilos, she's got her second attempt. And that's really important. Now, we're seeing a monstrous jump from Suzanne Daniel, 15 kilos.
Wow,
between her opener and her second, and a 160 kilo deadlift is special.
I have to say, it's gone deadly quiet in here, the way you would associate the third deadlift. So
160, like that's pretty dramatic. That's a pretty dramatic attempt, actually.
Whoa!
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So without without a pejorative meaning to it, that's playing games, right? You can pull that and you keep that keep that quiet on the first one, then you put it round, which is again, like I say, it's not a negative comment.
That's all of a sudden that's actually, you know, that will have changed the scoreboard quite significantly.
That's strategy. That is. You just keep it quiet for your first pull, and then suddenly work that.
But you know, Victoria Hammond had a 10 kilo advantage on the subtotal over Suzanne Daniel. But Suzanne Daniel has now closed that gap to 5 kilos because she just effortlessly pulled 160, which was 5 kilos more than Victoria's second deadlift. So, so I think that now means there's a 5 kilo gap only between Vicky and Suzanne on their total. So, oh no, there's some downward movement there.
Yeah. Oh,
who was that?
Unlucky.
I'm not sure who that was. Oh, hang on. No, sorry, we're out of step here with the attempts. Are we?
No, that looked right. That was Suzanne Daniel pulling 160. This is Florence.
Confused.
Yeah, this is definitely Florence coming back up for deadlift 3. She did, because she had a little dip forward.
Okay, sorry, it's all out sequence then. Okay.
No, but this isn't Caitlin. I am also confused.
Sorry, I don't.
No. I feel like I shouldn't have spoken with authority before I knew what I was talking about. It's the story of my life. So whoever this is has got a good lift and is very, very happy about it. It was Florence, I believe.
Okay, so
that was Florence's video.
Okay.
And the bar is loaded for Claire. Claire will be followed by Catherine, Sophie,
so
and Isabel.
This is Claire, even though it says Florence.
So Caitlin Berry failed 110 for up and down.
Apologies, everybody. So here comes Florence Eastwood, and it's an effort. It's up now. Good lift.
It was good. She's going to have 120 kilos on the bar now loaded for Catherine.
Thanks for the heads up, John. It's sometimes a little bit tricky. We've seen so many lifters today, it's a bit hard to try and keep our heads around who is who and what is what. And the guys in the spreadsheet are doing fantastic work for the lifters and the spotters. It's just what they need. Unfortunately, it just feeds through to us slightly slowly. Meanwhile, this isn't Florence Eastwood, I'm pretty sure. But whoever it is psyching themselves up for this. Okay, so she's got herself out of position there, but if she can pull it through, then it's fine.
Oh,
it doesn't seem dangerous. It's just a lot of work.
Wow.
Down it goes. That's crazy.
That was a very impressive lift. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't care to see someone do too many lifts with their back that far up where it needed to be, but it doesn't matter if it got done. There's only the one, right?
Okay, so we think that was Catherine Sweetman successfully pulling a really impressive 120 third attempt. We think this is Sophie Lester going for 125.
Yep.
Yeah, the ambience of the venue, Jordan. Yeah, people are obviously tired. Like, we've all been up for so long. But it's really exciting.
Yeah, there's a real sense
really
of stuff
exciting.
going down. I think because
Yeah.
the people have got stuff in the tank, it's all going to come down to this last lift. Oh, that unfortunately wasn't going to come up for Sophie Lester.
Oh,
That's a bit of a...
yeah.
I think she just needs to capture breath.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
No, too bad. Too bad for Sophie Lester. Okay. Isabel
So,
Davies,
Isabel Davies.
135.
Here comes Isabel Davis.
Okay, so how far ahead is Vicky Hammond?
These are good
Actually,
questions.
I'm not sure because I got thoroughly confused with the 160
Hell of a
deadlift
lift for
attempt
Isabel.
that her opponent did.
Oh, that's a little wobble as she comes off. There's someone there to catch her. There we go. Good. She's happy. It's the main thing.
And we also can't see the end of the score sheet right now either.
Yeah,
I'm
so
afraid.
sorry. So we
Next
do
Generation
have a
athlete.
feed, but unfortunately we haven't quite
And
got
we
one
also
in.
can't see the subtotals. I mean, so we can't. Yeah, we can't see the predicted totals. So we're kind of like having to do the maths in our heads, and we're finding that really hard. Sorry. So I think
Here she comes with Rihanna Graham, pulls it up, puts it down. Should be good.
I mean, I brought lots of food for myself. You would think I was actually competing myself, the amount of food I brought.
What Kevin's been very good at going around handing out meal tokens as well.
Okay,
So for the cafe, and Moulton are very good about handing those out as well. So.
Yes.
And there's tea and coffee away in the room in the next door. So we're all good, as good as we can be.
So yeah, I don't mean to do Moulton College a disservice on the food
goodness me,
front, but I have strange eating restrictions, which mean I have to bring all my own food. So that's why I brought so much food.
Not quite there for Kate.
No. Oh, she was. That's really going to cost her because she had the biggest subtotal going into the deadlift actually. So she's now going to be overtaken.
So it seemed almost like a sort of a spirited attempt to stay in it, but she just knew she didn't have it, which was unfortunate. But I guess again, better that than hurt yourself, right?
Yeah.
Here comes Lucy Hart. Thanks very much, Amina. We really appreciate that one. Super appreciate it. Here comes Lucy. Drops herself in. Oh, there's no quitting her if she can keep her hands tight.
That was very disciplined.
She does. Yeah, there it is.
Very smooth. She kept position, no hitching on that, no wobbling. She made that third attempt count.
Meanwhile, Stephanie.
Handley.
Here she comes. Okay, so it's getting serious now. Let's see what she does.
So now, some of the lifters are taking a little bit more time with their setups, just because you just don't want to make a mistake. I've just got this one chance.
Oh, it's a big drive.
That looked clean to me.
All right, there's a little bit of meat there.
Yeah, good. She kept moving. It's clean. It's clean.
So it's a mark of how heavy these deadlifts are going, that the initial few steps off the platform are slightly unsure as everyone tries to get their head back together.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Here comes Suzanne at 152. Now, do we know where this places her?
I'm afraid I don't.
Oh, don't worry, it's fine.
No.
Either way, it's a big one.
I don't think she
strides out
can
with
catch
purpose.
Victoria Hammond. She can't
Okay.
catch Victoria with this.
Okay.
No.
Presumably there's a place on the line. Let's see how she goes. She gets herself set.
Yes, I think she might be fighting for body weight against Ella Louise Handley.
Gotcha. So she takes a second to compose herself.
Yeah, these third attempts matter.
Tremendous focus here. Let's see how she does. Drops herself in, gets her hand set. Pull. Down it goes.
She got that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She's delighted. absolutely delighted.
Yeah.
Great work.
Yeah.
Well, whatever that was for,
Yeah.
she absolutely nailed it.
She may have secured herself a placing with that. Actually. She may have done. Okay, now we've seen a deadlift change.
Oh, okay.
Ella
So the
Louise
game's starting in
Handley
earnest.
has changed her third attempt because she has to.
Okay.
So basically, she was going to attempt 152.5, which would have given her the exact equal total to Suzanne Golder, but Suzanne Golder weighs less. So Ella has to increase her third deadlift.
So
if
what's
she
she
wants
on
to
now?
be, she's put it up to 155.
Okay.
She had to.
So she goes. Oh, she's not much in it. If she can just bring it. No, that's gone down.
No, downwards movement. No. Gosh, now Mike.
Mike's got her, isn't he? He's not
is
going
a
to let
sharp man.
Yeah.
Mike was behind her, ready to catch her.
Yeah.
Mike is such an experienced platform manager. Mike has done over 100 competitions himself. He misses nothing.
Yeah.
Mike is looking for that sign that the lifter may be getting busy and may lose their balance and fall over on their deadlift. And he was there to catch her.
Meanwhile, here comes Victoria Hammond over in the corner. We can see her.
So
Yeah.
this is so exciting. 162.5 kilo deadlift from
Humongous
Victoria
lift.
Hammond.
She gets on.
Immense lifting.
Pulls. Yeah, I don't think there can be any problem, and there is no problem with that.
Okay.
Fabulous lift.
So okay, so now I think Victoria has secured the win with that. She may already have secured it actually with her second deadlift. Suzanne Daniel, she pulled 160 on her second attempt, got red lighted. Now I think that was a technical thing because Suzanne Daniel's now attempting 170. Third deadlift, 170 from Suzanne Daniel. Let's see, and this will be hugely impressive if she gets it. It won't be enough to catch Victoria Hammond, but it's huge weight.
There's a lot of quiet in the room. Gets herself set.
Yeah.
Drops it in, pushes hard, straight through.
Oh
Look
my
at that
goodness.
smile. She knows what she's done.
Oh my goodness.
That's incredible.
3 white lights, 170, lifted it like an
Belt gets
opener.
hurled down.
Suzanne Daniel can deadlift. So, yeah, I don't think that will have caught Victoria Hammond. I'm afraid we're just going to have to see the final placings. We couldn't work it out because we weren't able to see.
So I believe, is this it? Is that the lot?
Yeah.
That's the lot. So
it's
listen,
the end.
it's the end. So
it's been
firstly,
such a long day.
massive thanks to Abby who's been commentating all day.
Thank you, George.
That is 10 hours and 33 minutes straight. It's absolutely fantastic. People are coming over to congratulate her already. So we've got to thank Abby, we've got to thank Ilaika, we've got to thank SPD, we've got to thank Spotter. They've all been absolutely fantastic. They are sponsors.
Yeah.
We've got to thank every single spotter and loader that's out there who's helped make this go. They've been going for 10 hours as well.
It's thanks to the platform crew that we're getting out of here before midnight.
Yeah, it's incredible work by them.
What a job. Mike King has been looking actually pretty exhausted for hours now.
Yeah, he's been keeping
and he's
people
still
safe.
kept on.
Yeah, it's all to the good. And then off the back of that, we've got to thank, of course, the Farm Powerlifting Club here at Moulton College, and Moulton College, who've put on just such a fantastic show, supported us so well, and have been absolutely brilliant. And I think, obviously, finally, got to say a thank you to the lifters. We've got to say thank you to everyone who's come with the lifters. And thanks to all of you guys on the stream who've been there.
Join us tomorrow. Join us tomorrow.
Yes.
For the 72, 84, 84 plus, and 47 kilo weight classes. You heard that right. The 47 kilo lightweight ladies are in with the heavier classes tomorrow.
It's going to be stupendous.
Yes.
It's going to be stupendous. We're going to log off now. Again, thanks so much for everyone's patience time today. Join us tomorrow. Same time, same place, same link. 10 o'clock. Thanks very much indeed.